Today, I'm going to share something with you that I think is very, very special. I know it's very special to me. I'm going to take you to a place a whole world away from here. And it's hard to believe now, walking around the Dreamcatcher, that a couple months ago I was there in Central Asia, a place called Kyrgyzstan. This is a hunt that I got to participate in Kyrgyzstan for mid-Asian Ibex with Eurasian Expedition, George Savage, Brian Martin, my guide, Ray Hayslip, my friend from Northern California. This is the show, the hunt. I hope you enjoy it.
I see the big one. You do? I see the big one.
Finally here, we're 3 days into this trip and we're finally at the Kyrgyzstan airport. And we're fixing to go, that's a Texas word. We're fixing to go get in the vehicles, and we're gonna drive about approximately a day.
Well, we're gonna drive to the town of Naren, which is the last civilized town we go through before we go hunting. It's about halfway there.
And we got about a day's drive.
Yeah, I think last time 6 hours in the car and then about 6 hours in the Jeep. That was last time with different weather.
So we got about 12-hour drive.
At least 12 usually, barring any avalanches or slides. And usually it's okay though. Should be good. This time of year it's winter. It's March is when they have more of the problems.
Right, so if we get to before March, we're gonna be doing good. Are you ready?
Should be a good adventure, man.
I'm ready. We've been in that car there about 7.5 hours. We're in there and American cowboy. And what we're doing here, this is a transition point. We're going to change from the vehicle that we've been riding in. All of our gear is going to go into this wagon and gear for camp. And from here, we're going to go on up to base camp, hunting camp, which is,
you know, you're going to be 10 to 11,000 feet in the middle of February.
And that's where we're headed. Are you ready?
That's right. It's a good ride.
A good ride. We're out here, we stopped. We've been driving for hours back in this valley, just almost an endless valley back here. And we've been stuck, got out and shoveled several times.
Camp should just be kind of up. It's going to be along one of these draws. We're going to get out. The horses are going to meet us probably tonight. We'll shoot the guns tonight, make sure everything's still good, get our stuff ready and go out hunting early in the morning. We saw probably 8 or 9 Marco Polo over here, about a couple miles from here.
All right, we're here. Where's here at?
Here's a heck of a long way from nowhere.
The end of kind of the closing of day 4. Is this We got a name for this place.
We'll just call it base camp.
Base camp.
Base camp on wheels and yurt. These are yurts right here. I don't know. They're pretty big, actually. This is about as wild and big as it gets. I mean, the mountains right behind us are over 14,000 feet. There's mountains in this country that are 23,000 feet, so it's not to be taken lightly here out here in February. Every day we're between 5 and 15 miles on a horse. Generally at night it's definitely below zero in February. During the day, like right now, it's probably about 5 above. When the sun goes down, it's going to get below zero again. And I mean, like I said earlier, this is a real deal. This is a real adventure, and you have to be mentally and physically prepared to go on a hunt like this. But if you're of that mindset, it's something you'll always remember.
I don't know exactly what it is, how you can do this and say that you enjoy it. I don't know what it is, but I love it. I'm gonna keep on loving it if it don't kill me. This on the outside though. What we're gonna do right now, we're saddling up, we're repacking all of our gear for a complete horseback trip. I went out on the ice. Well, I didn't know I was going on the ice. I thought it was snow. Trying to help with the horses, and I got sliding and couldn't stop, and he grabbed me, tried to help me, and I guess I hit him in the mouth.
Almost all the outfits that we hunt with over here provide really good horses. They're small, but very agile, very tough. So you don't have to be in the best of shape. Even older hunters, people who are a little bit out of shape, can still do this hunt. The main thing is, without good equipment, I don't care how tough you are, you're gonna be cold.
We've rode up several drainages. We've seen a lot of Ibex. We've seen some Marco Polo sheep. We've made a circle and come up at the top of these mountains. It's literally breathtaking, the beauty of these mountains. At Bashi mountain range is where we're at. On this side of the mountain is Kyrgyzstan. On this side of the mountains is China. It's a beautiful, beautiful bunch of mountains.
Basically, if you don't have the right gear, you freeze your butt off, you're uncomfortable, things don't work, things break. Gear is everything out here. You get cold, your optics freeze up. I mean, it's all the little things that make the difference, from the tape that you put on your barrel, to the heat packs you put in your boots, to the altimeter that you have in your watch. They're all little things that make, at the end of the day, the hunt that much more enjoyable, and allows us to stay out here in more extreme conditions longer, and with less chance of getting hurt, injured, and sick. We spotted these Ibex from the bottom,
Now we've completely made it up on top of this mountain. We're right on top of them, but they're scattered. There's a little bit here, some here, the big billies. The ones that we decided to go for, in this whole trip for, we haven't seen yet. We're going to go all the way out to the end of this point and glass down. That's where we're all thinking that they might be. You don't know what they're talking about? This is what they're talking about. Right there he is. 696 yards. That's what he is. I see the big one. You do? I see the big one.
Okay,
He's coming up on the rock, Buck.
that's not the big one.
Yes, that's the big one. I can take it.
Go ahead.
Go. God bless you, buddy. Thank you. I've talked before a couple times about extreme hunting. You just keep rolling. I've talked a couple times to you before about extreme hunting. This is it. Mid-Asian Ibex. We're in the middle of the mountains that are just straight up and straight down in between China and Kyrgyzstan. It is physically demanding. It's mentally demanding. And there's no bigger rush or bigger reward. Nothing I've ever done before. You gotta do it. You gotta try this one. I'm just giving him a little break. You okay? This is the conclusion of one of the most exciting hunts I've ever had in my whole life. Just because of what we went through to get this animal, the way it all unfolded. My guide, God bless you, buddy. I love you, buddy. I tell you, when you come up in this country, you just can't come up here because you want to come up here. You have got to go with the right people, with the right outfitter, the right guide, and we're in the right country. We have seen hundreds.
About 150 Ibex a day.
Easy. I mean, these things are all over, and this just what we went through to get this one. And Brian was, bless his heart, is telling me, hold out for a big one. Old Colorado held out laws. He wanted to hold out. So this one is, I seen it and I wanted it, and we had a good shot at it.
This is the biggest one in the group.
That group, and we would, just going by, my heart was pounding.
We let 4 good ones go by.
Well, I didn't want to. I know you was in smacking distance of me, so I let it go. But I drew the line on this one. But we've got a long, long ride back home. This is truly some of the most beautiful country in all on earth. It's got to be. Of all the places I've been, this is some of the most beautiful. It's February. We're in Kyrgyzstan. This is probably one of the colder months, you think, to be here?
I think the coldest month's probably January.
January?
It's darn cold, though.
Well, you can't get me to believe it could be any colder. But hey, we had good gear. You got me all lined up on the gear, and that was just a godsend that you called and did that, and I appreciate that so much. Marco Polo sheep, that's all. We've seen a lot of Marco Polo sheep in this country. I've got to come back and do one of them. I've got to do Marco Polo. I've seen them, and they are beautiful. They've been all around us. These Ibex, which this is a mid-Asian Ibex, and these Marco Polo sheep in this country, this company, you're great, man. I can't thank you enough.
Thanks for your company, man. You've been fun.
Thank you so much, my friend.
If you don't want the cold, you can hunt in October, early November. If you want to hunt when it's cold, go from mid-November through December or in February. When you book a hunt, like to Kyrgyzstan or Tajikistan for these Marco Polo and Ibex, George and myself will provide a real detailed equipment list so you know what to bring, know where to buy it.
Hey, I want to take this time to say a special thank you to Bob Hodson of Barney Sports Chalet in Anchorage, Alaska, for supplying me with gear. He said, I'll keep your hands and your feet warm. The rest is up to you till you come see me again. It worked out, Bob, and I appreciate it. Also, Jeff Jansen, Adventure Outdoors, for supplying us with gear. You guys are great. If you get a chance, shop with these guys, check them out.
There's a lot of places to go. There's a lot of choices out there, and I put the best products, the best sites on my website. So you can go there and links to a lot of the different places. You can also call me if you have some technical questions about gear. That's very important. The stuff you use in Saskatchewan for whitetail hunting, the stuff you use in Montana for elk hunting, some of that may work, but really the best clothing over here is stuff you would see in a mountaineering shop. Stuff the snow doesn't stick to, stuff that's light, dries quick, that ventilates, that's tough. You want some lofty material that provide insulation, just like a sleeping bag. Either like a Primal Loft or a light loft type jacket, or a really good goose down jacket. You don't want really heavy products, because if you had enough heavy stuff on to stay warm, you can't hardly walk. Like the guides over here, that's what they wear, but they normally ride horses. If they had a backpack, they'd be very uncomfortable. Their clothing probably would weigh almost 25 to 30 pounds for their pants and jackets. So it's very important. The shoes also, you don't want cold feet. You want to be able to dry the boots out at night. Most of the camps have stoves, you can do that. I bring 2 pairs of boots so I can rotate them. And if you get cold feet, you can stick the little foot warmers in there, oxygen activated. They last 6 or 7 hours. Those are great. So at least you don't get cold feet until towards the end of the day, and then that's okay. You can also walk your horse once in a while to get warm. And we do most of the stalks on foot, but in general you can get within 400 yards and almost always less than a half a mile with the horses. So, but sometimes you might have to climb 500 vertical feet. So it's very important that you are able to be in decent shape, because the better the shape you are in, the more likely you are to get on a particular ram that may be in a difficult spot, and that's very important. Look at the hair on this thing. It's like,
oh man,
3 inches long.
It's beautiful. This is life size. You're gonna see this in Colorado Buck's house.
That is a wrap for this week. I hope you enjoyed this show. This is one I've looked forward to bringing to you for many, many years. This has been a dream of mine. If it's a dream of yours, or just coming to this part of the country hunt some other game is an interest to you, George Sevich, Eurasian Expeditions, Brian Martin, them 2 guys have teamed up to make just an outstanding opportunity for all of us that want to hunt over here. Their contact information is going to be down here. I can't say enough good about them. From landing in Moscow, the people that's there to greet you, the interpreters, all the way through this thing. It's been great. I couldn't ask for anything more. God bless every one of you. I hope you join us next time. Please keep watching. We'll see you next week with a brand new show.